I'm excited about this football team. I think they're very talented group of freshmen. You know, you look at our wide receiver core. You have the Gatorade Player of the Year, Eric Gilbert. You have the Biletnikoff winner, Jamar Chase. You have the #1 receiver out of high school, Terrence Marshall. You have Racey McMath. You have Keyshawn Boutte, Coy Moore, and all those guys backing them up. So I think that we're very talented in that area. I like our offensive line. I like the direction Darrell Rosenthal's going. Ed Ingram, those guys have been great. Liam is playing center right now. We're going to see if he can handle it. Chase Allen's playing guard. Austin is out. We moved Cam Wire there. We got Charles Turner can play there. A lot of guys that can move out there. And we got some depth finally at tackle and along the offensive line. So I think Jimmy's going to do a great job there. Running backs looked fantastic yesterday. John Emery had a fantastic day. Chris Curry and Tyrone are bulls. I mean, those big guys that work hard. I think that you're going to see a different team this year. Obviously, the guys that we had last year were very good throwing the ball. I think we're going to be very good throwing the ball again, but our running game is going to be a lot better. I do believe that. Montre Bratcher has been phenomenal. So Kevin Falk has done a tremendous job coaching those guys. Quarterback Miles has had a great summer, great leadership under Coach Ensminger. And those two young guys, Max had, you heard me say this morning, ran a little quarterback keep around his left to the defensive right, went about 80. TJ had some good passes yesterday. So everything looks good right now on offense, so we're excited about it. On defense, I just can't say enough about Coach Pelini, what he's brought. Exactly what we're looking for. Toughness, very smart coach, knows his defense in and out, knows what he wants out of it. We're all learning from him. Our guys are taking to him. He's an aggressive coach, but he's a player's coach, and they love him. And up front, Tyler Shelvin is practicing very well. He's 370 right now, but he's still practicing very well. Glenn Logan's practicing very well. The guy I'm excited about, a couple guys, but Jacqueline Roy from U-High, man, number 99, he showed out. He's going to be aggressive. I think he's going to be a great defensive lineman. Upweiker's in good shape. He's 330. He's playing well. Guillory is a young nose tackle, going to be outstanding. And then in the defensive end spot, we got Andre Anthony is doing very well. And then those guys, the young guys behind them are Philip Webb and B.J. Ujulari. I think they're outstanding pass rushers. Chavez Moore is doing great at left end. He's actually starting at left end, and him and Andre are starting. I think those guys are doing phenomenal. So I think that with the defensive line, we have a lot of depth. We can rotate those guys. The linebacker, DeMond Clark and Jabril Cox have been phenomenal. Michael Baskerville is having his best camp so far. Ray Thornton's there, Josh White. Devontae Lee, Antoine Samples will be strong there. Cornerback, as we got Stingley and Elias Ricks and Jay Ward. Those guys are doing a tremendous job. And at safety, we got Jacoby Stevens, Mo Hampton, Todd Harris, and Tolles. Those guys are doing phenomenal. And so I think that we're very strong. And the special teams are looking good. I'm excited about the direction of the team, their mindset. And only the second day of camp, but I do believe that the football schools that we had in July helped us prepare. We're much further along than we've been. Tommy Moffitt got our guys in great shape. So everything's looking up right now for the Tigers.
Thank you, Coach. We're going to open up.
Excuse me. One guy I forgot to mention is starting at quarterback is Cordell Flott. Cordell has had a tremendous camp and a tremendous summer. He can play corner or nickel for us. Okay, go ahead.
So we're going to open up with Ron Higgins. Ron, if you can unmute yourself, and then.
Okay, yeah, Ed, Ron Higgins, Tiger Rag. A couple of questions. One is, from all the previous national championship teams you've been on in other places, what can you take from those for what happened the year after? I mean, the year after approach from those places you've been at. That's one. And secondly, how do you stay consistent with your message without being, I guess, guys tuning you out? They've heard this before. They've heard the one team, one heartbeat. They've heard all the. How do you do it? Keep it fresh.
Yeah, well, you bring up two good points there. First of all, Bobby April is an analyst for us, and Bobby did a study of teams that won championships and the year after. And he went and interviewed some of the players and asked them, say, hey, what's some of the things that you think the coaches did well? What's some of the things that you think that the coaches didn't do well? And one of the most common mistakes is to mention last year's team and compare this year's team to them all the time. So we don't do that. But we do mention leadership. We mentioned LSU standard of performance. Yesterday, I purposely made the first practice very tough to make sure that we were doing the little things right. And I think that's how I got my message that, it's not going to be just because we won a championship last year. It doesn't mean we're going to win it again this year. It's through the process and through hard work. So those are some of the things that I think that I have implemented. I looked at Pete Carroll. And nothing about him. He didn't say anything. He just kept on coaching the way he knew how to coach, and it worked. I think that when you have great players and you have great coaches and you stick to the plan, it's going to work.
Thanks.
Thank you. We'll go to Garland.
Hey, Coach O. Garland Gillen here, Fox 8 New Orleans. Yesterday, Derek Stingley on his Instagram page showed a lot of film of him beating up on Jamar Chase. Well, then last night when y'all sent out your LSU feed, you had Jamar Chase getting the better of Derek Stingley. I know you've talked to the guys at Off the Bench about this a lot, that back and forth. How fun is it to not only watch them on the field, but then to go watch the film at nighttime and watch these two future first-round picks going at it like crazy every day?
Hey, it's everything that we sell in recruiting. Iron sharpens iron. You look at it, two of the best players in the country. And every day, they're very similar in their personalities. They're very humble. They're very hungry. They want to talk about themselves. They just want to compete, man. And the things that you saw in film are right. Yesterday, one guy's going to win. Today, the next guy's going to win. And they know it's on. So, but I do show it to the team, and I use it as an example. Iron sharpens iron. This is how you prepare to play.
Next up, Brooks, and then we'll go Shea, Cobble, Ed.
Hey, thanks for doing this. Your program was early on testing protocols ever since y'all returned in June. Since returning on Monday, how many positive cases have y'all had on the team?
Yeah, very few. I mean, maybe two or three. I think we have 2 or 3 guys that are out. And, Shelly and Jack have done a tremendous job. And Mickey, I do believe we're ahead. I don't know, I'm not going to say we're better, but we're ahead than most programs because of Shelly and Jack and because of Scott Wilbur and the preparation that they had for us. So our players feel comfortable that they're getting the proper care. We practice COVID-19 principles in here. Our guys don't blink.
Shea, you're up.
Hey, Coach. I had a question about the defensive line. You mentioned being happy with the depth. At defensive end, we've heard TK McClendon, Justin Thomas, now Andre Anthony and Trevez, young guys like Wellen. How happy are you, I guess, seeing their development into the 2020 season? And do you think you're going to find a more natural pass rush with these guys having 4 D linemen hands in the dirt? Yes.
Justin Thomas will not be with us. He left the team, and we wish him the best. It's unfortunate, but he will not be with us. TK McClendon is just getting back to the team. He took a little time off, so he's going to have some work to do in conditioning. I think that eventually he can be a tremendous pass rusher, but for right now, he's just getting back into shape. But I do believe having a 4-3 defense and the way we're going to attack, the guy that I'm really impressed with is Ali Gay. He's had a great summer. He had a great day yesterday. He's long. He's 6'6". He's got long arms. Obviously, I talked about B.J. Ojulari, Phillip Webb. I think they're 2 of the best young pass rushers that I've ever been around. So I feel good about Andre Anthony. I feel good about the direction we're going in with the 4-3. Good to see you, Shay.
Good to see you, Coach.
All right.
We'll go to Michael Cobble.
Hey, Coach. Good to see you too, man. Missed you. Never thought I'd miss you this much, but man, it's good to talk
Don't lie.
football. Good to see football yesterday. Kind of two questions, and both of them are kind of related to the situations we're in. Has this extended time afforded you any opportunities that you didn't see coming, and how has it benefited your team? And then secondly, it seems like you guys, and I say you guys as a university, don't have a fear of COVID as much as maybe other people do. It's more like you have a working knowledge. And Shelley said early on, that's because of all the cases in New Orleans. They got a pretty good study of it and kind of understanding of how to combat it. Do you feel like that's what's giving you the advantages?
You know, I feel that the knowledge that we have on the staff, I feel that, you know, we were the first staff to come back. And Scott Woodward got that all done for us. And we were working. Man, we have game planned everybody, all the teams that we were supposed to play. And that we had never done that before. And I feel that we're ahead with all the Zoom meetings. This is probably the 5th time that we've installed our offensive defense. And usually it's only about three times the most, maybe 4. So our guys are getting in depth, in detail, and it helps because we got some new plays on offense. We got some totally new defense. We're all getting into it right now. But I do believe that the attitude around here is that we want to play. Obviously, that's going to be the doctor's decision. That's not our decision. But if they tell us we can play, we want to play. So we feel comfortable. Our guys, the guys that did get sick, most of them are asymptomatic. You know, they got quarantine and stuff like that, but we didn't have guys that were really sick that we had to take to the hospital or anything. So I think our guys are getting used to it.
Scooter, you have the next question.
Okay, Coach. You already knew who you were going to play. Could you comment as to the order of it, how it's set up?
Yeah, you know, playing Mississippi State, playing Mike Leach, we have already game planned him and his coordinator. We looked at the schools that they were at. Obviously, the first game, and just like everybody else, there are going to be some surprises. We don't know exactly the personnel, how it fits his new offensive and defensive scheme, so we're going to have to find out. But it's going to be new for them, too. They won't know what Bo's going to do. They don't know what Scott Linehan's going to do. So I think it works out on both sides. I'm glad we got him at home. Then at Vanderbilt in Missouri and Florida, obviously played in Gainesville. South Carolina, you know, playing at Auburn, obviously a big challenge. Have Alabama at home, another challenge, playing at Arkansas, at Texas A&M, then and then at Ole Miss here. So I think it's a good schedule. Any schedule would have been a good schedule for us. I'm just happy that we're playing.
Scott Rabelais.
Thank you. Ed, obviously you've talked about protocols and things that you guys are doing to have the players healthy and stuff like that. What would you like to say, if anything, to the fans and the students and stuff like that? You kind of need them to do their part too. You don't need any big outbreaks and stuff like that. What do you hope to, in terms of cooperation and support, to get from fans and students as you guys try to complete this season?
Yeah, obviously if we can get the spike down, we don't need a spike. And ask the students, everybody's coming back to campus, man. I see the cars around campus. It's fun to see the electricity around campus, but wear your mask. Just follow COVID-19, wear your mask, do the things that we're supposed to do. We expecting probably a spike. School's going to come back. I'm not a doctor. That's going to happen, but we have to overcome it. We got to flatten it out so September 26th we can play football.
Amos, you're up next.
Hey, Coach. My question, you mentioned the Zoom meetings you guys had. You weren't able to have spring ball. For some of the young guys like Flott and Hampton that got to play a lot last year because you were so up in a lot of games, do you think that's kind of helped them, with this fall camp and, why they've been able to impress so much?
It's giving them confidence, no question. And there's nothing like playing in a game, especially in the SEC and the big games. Once you can get it done, I'm sure every player before he goes in, there's a little nervousness, there's a little hey, can I really get this done? And then after you say, you know what, I can play with these guys. I've played in the championship. I've been in the big games. That gives you confidence going into practice. You don't have to worry about it anymore because you know you can do it.
Brody?
And I mean, obviously you have players opting out, and you might have some positive tests. I'm curious, I guess, how you go about mapping out a depth chart when you kind of know throughout the year, any time you might lose a guy or two.
We don't blink. You know, next man up. That's why we have depth. That's why we train all our guys. I told our guys, we put 11 men on the field. We fight like tigers. When you go in there, it's not like, well, he's second team, he's third team, he's fourth team. We play, man. We get guys ready, and you know it's going to happen. That's the lay of the land. There's going to be guys that will be opting out for medical reasons. I understand that. That's their choice. We support them, but we're not going to blink. Next man up.
Going to add Ed into the mix. Ed Daniels.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Coach, I heard from a friend of yours who said you're 1,000% convinced that you're going to play. Is that accurate?
Yeah. yeah. That's my mindset. I am convinced that we're going to play, and I think it's the best thing to do, and I think it's the right thing. But again, I'm not a doctor, and that's not my decision, but I'm convinced, yes.
Glenn West.
Hey, Coach. So, it seems like all offseason it's been talked about, like a 3-horse race at running back with Chris Curry, John Emery, and Tyrion. I guess kind of how big of a push has Coventry made in these last few weeks? Because it seems like you're really talking about him a lot.
Yeah, again, we got on him a little late, and he wasn't, a 5-star or nothing like that. We always thought he was a good player. I didn't know him very well, to be honest with you, because we got on him late. And, man, he surprised me. I mean, as far as his toughness, his athletic ability, his speed, and he's better than I thought he would be, and which is really good because I wouldn't have signed him if I didn't think he was good enough to play here. Now, the other guys look very good, too. I think we have 4 excellent running backs. We're going to use all of them. They got an excellent running back coach. I can't wait to watch those guys run.
Wilson.
Hey, Ed. This preseason being so much longer than years past, how are you going to structure giving guys time off while not giving them too much time off? What's sort of the preseason plan in that regard? Yeah. So much more time before you actually play your first game.
Yeah. You have 25 practices, but you only have 20 hours per week. So you're limited in some of the things that we can do. We're starting school next week. So obviously we'll only have 5 days of what would you call camp. But you can't call it camp because camp was 6 in the morning until 10 o'clock at night. We only got 20 hours. So there's some space there. We have a short walkthrough in the morning, a practice in the afternoon. We're practicing on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Thursday will be meeting time, meeting only. They're going to practice this week. They'll practice Friday morning. They're going to have all Friday afternoon, Saturday, and Sunday. And then we start school on Monday. So basically, we're practicing Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday off, practice Friday, off on the weekends. That's never happened in the history of football camps since I've been coaching.
So we got time for about 2 more questions. We're going to go to Jacques.
Hey, Coach. How are you?
Hey, Jacques. Good to see you, buddy.
Yeah, good to see you. We miss you. We want to get out there. So hopefully everything's going well. Coach, I've always thought of you as the king of enthusiasm. Every day is Christmas morning for you, right? Over the last 6 months, have you ever gotten down? Has some negative talk or anything about what's going on out there kind of made you get down any day? Or are you full speed ahead?
Full speed. I came to work every day. I missed it though. There were some days there was only about 2 or 3 of us in here, and there were some Friday, Saturday, and Sunday nights. I sit on my porch out there till about midnight because I didn't want to go home, and but it was good to see the coaches get back, and eventually everything get back. I always felt that everything would get back, but I got to admit, just like everybody else, I never thought I'd see the world shut down. Everybody wearing masks and no traffic on the road in Los Angeles or New York or Baton Rouge. We got our traffic too. And not be able to go in a restaurant and order some good food. So I never thought I'd see that in my lifetime, but it did happen. But I know we bounced back. So I always thought we'd bounce back for sure.
Okay, the last question will be Doug Mouton.
Hey, Ed. Doug Mouton, WWL TV New Orleans. When you're actually on the field or in a meeting, is it possible to put the whole COVID thing aside and just be football? Do they sort of mingle more than maybe they used to? Or is it possible to just compartmentalize and keep them separate?
You know what? They have masks in the meetings. We are practicing social distancing. But we've gotten used to it. I mean, it's something we've done, and we've gotten used to it. And, like you say, compartmentalize. When you focus on football, you kind of forget about it. I mean, we've been doing it so long now. I don't know how many football schools we had. The first day, everybody with a mask on the field looked silly. I mean, stupid. I mean, I don't know what to call it. Looked just different. I can say different, you know what I mean? But they had to do it, and the guys got used to doing it. I think they tried those shields. They couldn't breathe. Now they put the thing around them. So we made adjustments, and our guys didn't blink. If you want to do something bad enough, as you know, Doug, you're going to do it. And we want to play football, so we're following the rules. It doesn't seem to bother us.